Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 10 Vegas spread picks. Last week on the money picks, we were 1-2. It was a massacre on Patreon. And I got to be honest, guys. I'm in a good mood today, but on Monday, I just felt absolutely disgusted with my performance. And if I let anyone down, I'm sorry about it, man. And we were absolutely flying these last 4 or 5 weeks. And this league, the variance, it comes and gets you. But I'm looking forward to this week. We got a good slate. Let's get into it. First game, Thursday night football. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Raiders +9. Borderline money pick. Guys, I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to do it, but I got the Raiders to cover, Broncos to win. This is a borderline money pick for the Raiders to cover. It's as tepid as you can be. I'll be doing a separate video on it tomorrow. Go check that out. We've been awesome with the props on Thursday night. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Indianapolis Colts. Falcons +6. I got the Falcons to cover, Colts to win. But I'm not out on the Colts. And we have to remember, what did they have against the Steelers? 5-6 turnovers. And everything that could go wrong went wrong for the Colts against the Steelers. And we already knew Daniel Jones was a marginal quarterback in this league. We weren't buying into the hype. But for Shane Steichen to have him throwing almost every single play in the first half was just absolutely insane. And that's the main rule. You can't coach your bets. But I didn't see that. That wasn't on my bingo card. But the reason why I got the Falcons to cover in this game is because it's in Munich. And when you're going to Germany, when you're going to Europe, when you're going to unknown terrain, it just creates an extra level of variance in a league that is high variance as it is. And you have a Falcons team that year in and year out, they're tough to figure out. And this year, their defense is playing pretty damn good considering the talent level. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. But the reason why I think the Colts win the game, I think the Colts can run the ball down their throat. And that's if they run it. And I think the Falcons can be a dance partner in this game. And I think they can cover because like they proved against the New England Patriots, this offense is absolutely stacked with talent if you take out the quarterback and they can move the ball. Atlanta moves the ball just enough to be threatening to the Colts. I do think the Sauce Gardner trade will help the Colts defense, but Atlanta covers, Colts to win. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets. Browns -2.5. Money. Browns to win in the cover. I hate that I have to do this. And when I was making this video, preparing for this video, for this trench we're getting into in week 10, this was at like +1, +1.5. And now with all the trades, Sauce Gardner going, Quinnen Williams is going, it looks like we got Browns -2.5. And obviously you don't want to bet a team that has Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback. But you also have to look at this Jets team and you have to think, who do they have left? Do they have enough players? Is this that Jets offense good enough to move the ball against Cleveland? And let's just take Dylan Gabriel out of the equation. I think this Browns defense comes in big and they completely control the pace and tempo of this game. And this Cleveland defense is very good. Do I think they're better than the Texans or the Broncos? No, I don't. But the way to attack this Cleveland defense is you have to attack them through the air. And I'm just not seeing a New York Jets team without Garrett Wilson able to do it. It was an inspirational performance from Justin Fields against the Cincinnati Bengals. but it seems like every single quarterback the Bengals play has an inspirational performance. I think the Browns run the ball, and I think the Browns play great defense. And when you have Jenkins going forward 20 to 25 times against the Jets defense that hasn't proved anything to me. Aaron Glenn's been a disappointment on that side of the ball specifically. I think the Browns do just enough. If Garrett Wilson gets in here, though, be cautious, but I doubt he plays. Browns -2.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Minnesota Vikings. Ravens -4.5. I got the Vikings to cover, Ravens to win. And this is a tremendously difficult game to handicap, in my opinion. And who would have saw that Vikings upset coming? I wouldn't have, and I'm a Vikings fan. Definitely not a Vikings homer, though. But I do think the Vikings do enough to cover. But I don't think the Vikings have figured out their issues. I am worried about this Vikings run defense. And there is a formula where the Ravens can completely dominate this game through the run. If you get Lamar scrambling, if you work the read option, and then you pound Derrick Henry consistently 20 to 25 times, I think it can break and control this Vikings defense. But the reason why I got the Vikings to cover, and even with J.J. McCarthy, I'm worried about this Ravens defense. And we can say like Lamar was like 75% against the Dolphins, and I'm sure that hamstring's going to get better with the 10 days rest. I'm not really worried about the Ravens offense. They're going to cook, and they're going to do what they need to do to get home. But the thing I'm worried about is this Ravens defense. You saw the acres of space in the secondary. You saw the way the Dolphins were able to pick them apart. You saw the way the Dolphins were able to get a run game going. And let's be honest, I had the Ravens on Patreon, but I kind of felt like the Dolphins dominated the first half of that game and deserved to be with the lead in halftime. Does that really matter? No. You gotta do what you need to do in this league when you have supremacy. But with that being said, I think the Vikings cover. Ravens win late with a field goal. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Houston Texans. Jags +1. What are my fundamentals? You guys know my fundamentals. Houston at home with this defense. I just go Houston and I move on. But I can't do it this game. I'm going Jags to win in the cover. And listen, let's give the Jags a little bit of leniency for that loss against the Raiders. Every single wide receiver they had got hurt. I mean, they were down to practice squad guys to finish out that game. And, you know, when you play the Houston Texans defense, you're just not going to get a lot of offense going, especially when they're on their home turf, and we know what that defense can do. But there's only one way to attack the Houston defense, especially when you have Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, and that's to run the ball, and that's to run the ball some more. Now, Houston has been better against the run this year, but I do think the Jags can have a little bit of a run game, and I think we're going to see a lot of Etienne, and I think he's going to go forward a lot. Now, is he going to get a lot of yards? Not necessarily, but I think he'll do enough for the Jags to win the game, and it's going to be a low-scoring game, and you can go look at the over-under video tomorrow. On the other side of the ball, the big difference in this game for me is Davis Mills. I'm worried about him, and he has the mobility of a senior citizen in Florida. Like, he moves like molasses, and with this Texans offensive line, with the way this offensive coordinator is calling games, I just don't think he's going to have a lot of help, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to scheme guys open for him, and I'm not sure he's going to have enough time to manipulate the pocket and do what he needs to do. Could the Texans conceivably get a run game going this game? Of course, but I don't see it happening, and I see the Jags blitzing and blitzing often. Give me the Jags to win in the cover on the road in the AFC South. I just don't think Stroud's going to play. Every time someone gets a concussion now, it seems to be 1 week out. And if you look at that hit against Stroud, it was a pretty nasty concussion. So he's going to miss the game. We're getting Davis Mills, and that's going to be ugly. Jags winning the cover. Next game, we got the New England Patriots. Drake at the Tampa Bay Bucs. Bucs -2.5. Money. Bucs are one of the few teams I trust, and I probably shouldn't trust them in this spot. But Bucs winning the cover with the -2.5, and that's with a caveat, and you need to be mature here. We need Bucky Irvin in this game. That's what we need. If Godwin plays, he plays. But Bucky Irvin needs to be present in this game. And it looks like the Bucs are getting healthier on the offensive line, and that should help. This is a great game. This is a great game to watch as a fan if you don't want to bet it. And I absolutely love what Drake May's doing. And you got to give the Patriots credit for what they've put forth this year. It's been impressive. Mike Vrabel and Drake May are impressive. But I'm going to keep harping back to it. And I know the Patriots have won us some money this year, but we have to keep coming back to it. Outside of Drake May, outside of a very good head coach, does anyone really think this roster's any good? Does anyone really think this roster is anything other than bottom 7 in the league? I certainly don't. And one thing this Patriots team is doing that is bothering me is they're giving up lots of pressures. And the offensive line wasn't great coming into the year, and Campbell's playing good on the left side. But the rest of the offensive line has been a wreck. And we're not even talking about getting beat one-on-one. We're talking about Texans tier stuff where they can't pick up a easy blitz. And that's the reason why the Patriots didn't cover against the Falcons last week. Drake May's getting blindside hit, and Drake May is holding the ball a little bit too long. I mean, he needs to help the offensive line. And when you talk about a Todd Bowles team, when you talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially at home, you have to talk about the blitz and you have to talk about the pressure. And I feel like this Bucs defense is getting more pressure than ever. I mean, I've been impressed with this defense, and you can throw it deep, and the Patriots have thrown it deep better than any other team. But I think this Bucs defense dominates the game. And one thing you can do against the Patriots defense, they're very hard to run against, but you can throw it. And I think Baker gets going after the bye week. I really felt like he got banged up and completely beaten against the Lions. So I think the Bucs come back here with a bounce back win. They have to get number 1 in the NFC, and this is a must win for the Bucs. Give me the Bucs to win in the cover with the -2.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Saints +5.5. I got the Saints to cover, Panthers to win. But I told you guys last week, and that money pick from the Rams was a little bit off the hip. But guys, I just don't like Tyler Shock. I don't think he's NFL quality. I don't even know if he's a backup in this league. And with that being said, I think the Saints do just enough to cover here. Guys, do you want to lay 5.5 points with the Carolina Panthers? What the Panthers did last week was brilliant, but there just isn't much to say. I don't think anyone wants to lay the 5.5 with the Panthers. And we know the Saints traded Shaheed today, but I think the Saints have enough guys left, even though the offensive line is completely decimated. I'm sure with them trading Penning today, it's going to be more decimated. It's just who has the courage to lay the 5.5 with the Panthers. I certainly don't, and you should not be betting this. If you bet this game, you should call the fucking number. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Bills -9. My wife just yelled to me, maybe you should call the number for betting the Jags last week. But I got the Bills. I got the Bills -9 to win and cover. It just, with this game, it depends on the Bills' motivation. And one thing Miami can't do, and we saw they traded away Jalen Phillips. Lots of trades today. Go check that out. But one thing Miami can't do is stop the run, and they've been trending better in the last 3-4 weeks with it. But that's not saying much. That's like saying, oh, I thought I had AIDS, but but it's only gonorrhea. Like, I get it. It's getting better, and it's not the worst. But I do think the Bills can run the ball all over them. And that's what this Bills offense needs to transform into, what they did against the Chiefs. And I've been saying it all year. I don't like these targets from the Buffalo Bills, but I like James Cook. I like Josh Allen, and I like the offensive line going forward. I think the Bills run it all over them, and you just don't know what you're going to get from the Miami offense. And also, secondly, you just don't know what you're going to get psychologically and fight-wise from Miami. We've seen them like just roll up straight white flags really early in games this year and lay down in the fetal, and we could see that here. Bills winning the cover with the -9. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby at the Seattle Seahawks. Cards +6.5. Cards to cover, Hawks to win. But I don't like what Jonathan Gannon is doing. And firstly, I hope everyone watched that Friday video where I made the correction and made sure to tell everyone, get on the Seahawks. So I hope everyone watched that Friday update video firstly. And the Seahawks are a train, but I got the Cardinals to cover, but with a caveat. And I have to bring up Jonathan Gannon, and he's pissing me off. He's already proven this year with the situation, pushing the running back, that maybe he doesn't have the pulse of the locker room. Maybe these guys don't respect him. But I think Jonathan Gannon's a good coach. But at the end of the day, he has to put his big boy pants on, and he has to name Jacoby Brissett the starter. Because if Jacoby Brissett is the starter in this game, I got the Cardinals to cover, Seahawks to win. If it's Kyler Murray, Seahawks to win and to cover, maybe even a money pick. And now let's get into why. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been saying it for the last 3 weeks. Every single time I come on this video since the Green Bay game, I've been saying that. And this Cardinals offense just runs smoother and better with Jacoby Brissett. And everyone's saying, oh, Marvin Harrison looks good just because it's the Cowboys. No, it's because the Cardinals get back to basics. They go with the 2 tight end sets. They get in single back. They run pro football plays. They don't get in a shotgun every play and spread it out and let Kyler Murray play off schedule. Everything with Jacoby Brissett is on schedule. Is it sexy? No. Is it good football? Yes. Run the ball, play action, time your routes, and that's what you see with the Cardinals with Jacoby. Give him the job, give him a chance, let him roll. It's not going to be pretty with Kyler Murray. We already know what he is, and this is a Seahawks defense that has just played outstanding this year. Like what they did against the Commanders. I know the Commanders were injured and banged up, but what they did was just another flag they've planted to show that the Seahawks are for real. And this is a Seahawks offense that does the things I mentioned. They get in 2 tight end sets. They run the football. They use play action, and they put their quarterback in good positions, and they have good play calling. So this game comes down to who's going to play quarterback for the Cards. I think the Cards can surprise them, and I like what they did on defense against the Cowboys. Maybe it was a little bit of luck. Maybe the turnovers helped, but they made the high-leverage plays at the high-leverage moments in the game, and I think they can do that against the Seahawks and keep this close. Cards to cover, Seahawks to win. But we got to know who's playing quarterback, John Gannon. It's getting ridiculous, man. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Washington No Names. Lions -9. Money, money, money. I'm going back to the well. Lions winning the cover. Make it a money pick. And I hate to go back to the well after what the Lions showed last week. But this Commanders team just has no one left. And even when they were healthy, there was worrisome signs. Like the offensive line hasn't looked great this year. They haven't been able to get the run game going. And this is a Lions team that should be disgusted with themselves. I mean, offensively, it really did feel like they were missing Ben Johnson. And that's the first time I'm saying it. I didn't overreact with the Green Bay game early in the year, but I really felt like they were missing Ben Johnson as a play caller. Secondly, this defensive game plan was poor against the Vikings, and they have to come back and they have to respond, and I think they do. And obviously, this is one where you don't want to lay 9 points in this league. We see how crazy this league is, and we know how valuable points are. But with that being said, I'm just wondering, who do the Commanders have left? Lattimore's out at corner. Luvu's out at linebacker, suspended 1 game. Jaden Daniels is hurt at quarterback. Offensive line banged up. Who's going to play wide receiver? I just don't know what the Commanders have left, and now my nickname, the No Names for them, has another meaning and has more repellent because no one is going to be there that you expect. Give me the Lions -9, winning the cover, making a money pick. I'm not thinking a lot about it. Obviously, when I woke up this morning and it was 7.5, it was a lot better, but let's go Lions -9, making a money pick. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. The Bears -3.5. I got the Bears to win in the cover. But guys, this is one I was going back and forth with all day today, if I should bet it or not. And it's really early in the week with all the injuries we've gotten this year on Tuesday. It used to be advantageous, but now that NIL hit college football, the Tuesday show's not all that advantageous with the lines. Like, we kind of get the same lines we get on Friday without the injury information. And there's some injury information that concerns me on this Bears defense. There's also some poor play on this Bears defense that concerns me. Dennis Allen just hasn't gotten a tune out of them. But let's talk about the New York Giants. Daboll really disappointed me. He made some bad decisions against the Giants. He was too cautious. And I'm not going to say Brian Daboll cost the New York Giants the football game. But he certainly didn't help Jackson Dart in that team battle. He didn't give him a chance to win. And in this game, you have a Bears offense that I don't think the Bears offense is all that great. But one thing they can do and one thing they've done well this year is when they're playing a bad defense, they can put up points. And I think the home field advantage in this game is big. And that's what I think the Bears do. I think the Bears get to 30 points in this game against the Giants defense that's just been absolutely pathetic this year. They can't find a tune. They can't stop the run. They're not covering anyone at all. And I feel like the Giants get teams in a lot of like 3rd and 13s, 2nd and 14s, yet time after time they give up big conversions in places and situations that should be advantageous. And if you allow the Chicago Bears to run the football, they're just going to have their way with you. And I think Ben Johnson needs to win this game. This game is extremely pivotal for the Bears season and their outlook. I don't like trusting Caleb Williams. I like what Jackson Dart's offering, but just who's Jackson Dart got to help on offense. It's starting to get a bit much. The Scatterboo thing, I thought maybe they could recover on a quick bounce against the 49ers. I had way too much caution in that game. Obviously, I had the 49ers to win and to cover, but I wanted to give you guys caution for it. But maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I was overthinking it. There's just not enough guys to help Jackson Dart on this Giants offense. Give me the Bears -3.5 winning cover in Soldier Field. This is one I'm going to examine throughout the weeks. Just waiting on some injuries from the Bears secondary. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. Rams -3.5. I got the Rams to win, 49ers to cover. And I love what the Rams are doing this year. And this is one where if you didn't have the McVay-Shanahan matchup and all the variance and all the craziness we've seen with it, and Shanahan kind of owning McVay, you would want to put up the Rams here. But I'm going to give respect to the 49ers, and I'm going to be cautious, and I'm going to go 49ers to cover, Rams to win. And this is a Rams team that I love what they're doing, and this is a Rams team that I feel like can stop the 49ers run game. And if you're able to stop the 49ers run game, there's not a lot they can do with Mac Jones at the helm. I'm not sure Brock Purdy's going to come back this game. And with all the 49ers injuries, it's a guessing game, especially early in the week on Tuesday, what you're going to get. As of right now, I got the 49ers to cover, Rams to win. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers -3. Money, borderline. Approach this with caution. This is Alamo for me. This is trench warfare from me. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. Actually, I won't. Cancel it. Chargers winning the cover. And, guys, I just don't think the Steelers team's all that great. And the 6 turnovers against the Colts was great for them. And the game plan of the Colts played into the Steelers. And I've been saying all year, Aaron Rodgers has been phenomenal. There's not a lot of weapons on that offense. And he's not getting a lot of help, whether it be from the skill positions or the offensive line. And this is a Chargers defense that is jelly and soft. I feel like you can push the Chargers defense around. And unlike last year, I feel like you can throw it and sling it on this Chargers defense and really put up numbers. But with that being said, I still don't trust the Steelers defense. I don't think there's a renaissance. But we did see enough of a pass rush from Watt and company against a Chargers offensive line that's going to be without Joe Alt. Joe Alt's not coming back. We know they got Penning from the Saints, but I trust him more run blocking than pass blocking. The reason why I can't bet the Chargers in this game is the offensive line, because if this Steelers defensive line plays how they're hyped up to be, how their reputations are, they can dominate and change this game. I got the Chargers to win in the cover. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Eagles +2.5. Eagles to win in the cover. And this is a Packers team. They're tough to figure out, and you don't know what Packers team you're going to see. And you also don't love putting up the Eagles because this is an Eagles defense that isn't the same as last year. And this Eagles offense really hasn't found their full rhythm and verb yet that we've seen in previous years. But I think this is a Saquon Barkley game. I think this is a give the ball to Saquon 20 to 25 times and just get the fuck out of the way. And I think that's the best way to attack the Green Bay Packers. I don't think you want to throw it 30 to 35 times. I think the recipe to attacking the Packers is run it and run it some more. And you have a Packers offense that is a little bit low on confidence. And I don't want to say it about Josh Jacobs. Maybe it's because teams are putting more guys in the box and they're focusing on the run when he's in the game. But am I the only one when they put in the other running backs, Green Bay's able to have more liberty and run the ball better? Is it just me? Maybe, I don't know. And that's something that doesn't make sense. And I don't think Josh Jacobs has lost a step, but he hasn't had one of those big games. And we've seen him consistently last year in that 80 to 110 yard mark. And he's barely hit that this year. And I don't think they'll be able to run it against the Eagles. This is the Eagles' run defense that's trending up, in my opinion. And that's why I have the Eagles to win and cover this game. You force Jordan Love to beat you, but it's not really about Jordan Love. I think people have been picking on Jordan Love this whole year. If anyone remembers the rant I had on the Cardinals-Packers game, it was this. It's easy to focus on Jordan Love. It's easy to pick at Jordan Love. But I also think you guys, the media, everyone else, the Green Bay fans, overrate this wide receiver set. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it again. There's only one man you can rely on in that arsenal. It's Tucker Kraft. Outside of that, you're not getting a whole lot. You're not getting a whole lot of consistency. I got the Eagles to win in the cover on the road in Lambeau Field. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet, guys. We were absolutely flying the last 3-4 weeks, and for some reason, YouTube just stopped showing last week's videos. Like, they cut my impressions by more than 20%. So make sure you share the videos and keep the channel going, because that shit's discouraging when you have 3-4 great weeks in a row and then you get less views. And it's not because people don't want to watch you anymore. It's because they're hiding your video and cut it by 20%. So I appreciate the support. I love going to battle with you guys every week. Hope everyone has a great night. This video was a little bit later due to the trade deadline. And yeah, man, I just want to say what's up. Hope everyone's been good. I haven't been in the comments as much this year, guys. It's because I like putting up the video and letting it speak for itself. And also it's just, yeah, man, it's just, I got to get on Twitter. I got to do those things. I got to help myself. I will get on Twitter. I will start posting some hot takes. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Let's get this money. Great to see you guys. Everyone have a great fucking week.